Alright guys, here we have the HTC A9 and this is how it arrives. The iPhone clone, as many people call it. Here it is, well packaged. We got it, just the invoice. And let us see here. This is it. This is a very, very pleasing package in my opinion. I'm gonna have you guys have a look at it. Here we got all the information and the serial numbers on the back, which I'm blocking out. It gives you a bit more info. And it tells us Qualcomm Snapdragon 617. So that's an 8-core processor, 4 times 1.5 and 4 times 1.2 gigahertz. It's a 5-inch phone. So mid-sized by now with a 13 megapixel camera and a lot of other features that we're gonna try out. So let's get rid of that plastic here. So what we got here. All right, this is a very minimalistic package. Also, it's following the trend of most companies, such as Google with the Nexus line of recyclable material. You can just tell. And here it is. Here's the entire package. I like minimalism, something we can learn from Apple, of course. Here is the phone. And here is some stickers in there. Here is the charger. Let's open that up. So classic micro USB. Here is the charger, giving you a quick look at it. Also we have a SIM card ejector in here, which is handy. Manual here, the included paperwork. All right, so let's unbox this. Unbox this, looks very good. And here it is, and how does that feel in the hand? It feels very good. It's that HTC. I'll give you that quick look here. That's how it looks like. Here are the buttons. Make sure we track that. There we go. Give you a clean look. That's the camera. Yeah, it feels very good in the hands. Not cheap at all, and it is not cheap. It's cheaper than a flagship phone, but by no means cheap, I would say. Let's compare this to a couple of other phones. All right, so we have seen here comparison against the other two hotshots on the Android market, and I don't necessarily want to make this an iPhone comparison video. There's going to be plenty of that, although we're going to have a quick look.
Definitely similarities. The square sensor, and not quite the same different size, but look at the antenna placement and the screen itself, similar.
Anyways, it feels very good in the hands. Let's start it up. The power button here is below the volume rockers. It comes on HTC. And this is what you're getting out of the box. Compare the thickness with the Nexus. And let's check out that SIM card connector here, that SIM card ejector. Just asks you to add a network here, which we're going to do really quickly. No, we don't need the diagnostics. So we're going to restore from the LG from right here. Well, see how cool it is? Shows us the devices. We're gonna do a pin for now.
And that's needed in case you forget your finger or something is not working, always good to have a backup, and that's actually what the operating system requests, and that's the same with the iPhone as well. And a couple of more steps here to hide sensitive information on the lock screen. And here I am placing my finger, my thumb. I should have cut my fingernails here, sorry. And I'm getting a couple of false reads. And that's only because I'm not covering it completely. I'm used to doing that on the iPhone. We're supposed to kind of like move it around after a while. And so here the setup is a little bit different, but very fast fingerprint sensor, but it's not round like the Nexus 5X, like the iPhone, like the Nexus 6P. So it's not quite the same intuitiveness when you turn your finger, when you're coming in from a different angle. So just something to get used to. By the time I'm doing this overdub here, I have already become accustomed to it, and it works very well and very fast with some haptic feedback. All right, and so just a few more steps to finish the setup. Personalize the phone by giving it a name. And you can opt out of these check marks here. Share my precise location, share my personal usage data, depending on where you stand on that issue. And here it's all the apps are starting to show up from the restoration process, from the restore process. And some more transferring is going on. But let's fire up Chrome here. And then compare it here to the Nexus 6P in terms of brightness. Both have an AMOLED display, so similar display type. It's not an IPS panel, so very high contrast and bright colors. And the screen on the HTC A9 is great from all angles. That's one of the great features of this phone. The screen is spectacular. It's a 5-inch screen, slightly bigger than the iPhone 6S. Or 6 and so forth. And it's quite responsive. The Sense, HTC Sense, is a little bit different. If you're not used to that, I wasn't, so I had to get used to it. But the phone is really smooth in the hands. It's almost like when people say a bar of soap. So be careful. So here we are in the settings, and it's all very well structured. Like that, and HTC prides itself on sound. That has this amazing sound engine in there with 24 bits, and something I still have to try out, but would definitely be a plus. What I'm looking for, as you know, is always the camera. That is very important to me, and also the responsiveness, and that is great on the HTC A9. And let's compare it a little bit look-wise, just to get like that feel. And here's that camera. And I like the camera. It's got a pro mode with very quick access to what we're doing here to get to the settings, manual settings, and then panoramic mode and so forth. Still yet to be explored. And here's a photo I took afterwards. Great photo indoor at Macy's. Wonderful color saturation. That's here at the home store. I like that as well, and I have the other phones that I used to do that, so we can do some comparisons later. But great shot, accurate. Pretty happy with that. And here the red Starbucks cup. Depth of field is nice. Look how it is blurry in the background. That's also a nice shot. Not easy to take. And look at the grid. It's sharp. And here's one more time the design. It's the HTC. All I can say is a beautiful phone. Inspired, obviously, by the iPhone. But HTC had that type of design already before and in the works. It seems that's where the industry is going. So if you're going for a phone that really looks good and has also, all the appointments in terms of a good camera, responsiveness, this is it. Don't think it's a flagship phone. Camera is not as good as the 5X or the 6P or even the iPhone 6S, but just slightly underneath it. In most situations, will come out very similar, but in certain critical situations like low light, it falls a little bit behind. Don't want to make this an in-depth review. Just want to give you a little bit of a heads up. But that feeling in your hands and also how it sits in the pocket, that right form factor of a large enough screen, of a 5-inch screen, not being too big, being super thin, and having that awesome build quality at a good price point. It's definitely a phone I would look at. The other thing I want to remind you is the phone storage can be expanded. So you can throw in micro SD cards and make that a very large storage, up to 200 gigabytes. And that is a big thing, because if you don't, if you take a lot of pictures and movies and so forth, you're not stuck with what you're buying. So you can feel free to buy the 32 gig version. Another thing that's missing, 4K video by now. But I'd rather take an overall great phone, and then instead of just having the 4K slapped onto it, of course, with everything being equal, having both would be great. So my opinion, thumbs up on this phone. It's not an iPhone clone. I think it's inspired by it, whatever the marketing decision behind it is. It feels smooth. I've been wearing it for a couple of weeks now. I like it. It gives me a good feeling. I love how quickly the Bluetooth comes on when I'm pairing it with my speakers. Beats other phones that are not as quickly to connect. So yeah, in my opinion, go check it out. It's one of the prettiest phones on the market. If that's for you, go get it. And please like and subscribe. Tech Reviews out.